Jai Hind. This is Senior Under Officer Vishal Kumar.
I am Junior Under Officer Rohit Kumar Singh
Jai Hind. I am Sergeant Aman Raj.
Jai Hind. I am Corporal Ujjwal Kumar
of 29 Bihar Battalion NCC Patna, Patna Group, Bihar and Jharkhand Directorate. We are showing you a presentation on the topic Cultural, Heritage, Custom and Festival of Bihar. This presentation is divided into 4 stages. First, Junior Under Officer Rohit Kumar will describe you a brief description on the topic Culture of Bihar. Followed by Senior Under Officer Vishal Kumar will describe you a brief description on Heritage of Bihar. Followed by Corporal Ujjwal Kumar will describe you a brief description on the topic Custom of Bihar. Lastly, Sergeant Aman Raj will describe you about a brief description on Festival of Bihar. Now, let's start the presentation. Now, my colleague, Junior Under Officer Rohit Kumar Singh will describe you a brief description on the topic Culture of Bihar.
Jai Hind. I am Junior Under Officer Rohit Kumar Singh of College of Commerce, Art and Science, 29 Bihar Battalion, Patna, Patna Group, Bihar and Jharkhand Directorate. I am present here to give a brief description on the topic the culture of Bihar. Bihar has a rich cultural heritage. It is the land of Buddhism and Jainism. Bihar is known as the land of Buddha, where Gautam Buddha attained enlightenment at Bodh Gaya. The history of Bihari dates back to 3 millennia, whose origins are of Indo-Aryan ethnic group. Based on the origin and the relationship, the state of Bihar is divided into castes and subcastes. The people of Bihar had long been under the fetters of superstition, but modern reasoning is making the way for a reasonable society. The Bihari languages include Magahi, Bajika, Bhojpuri, Maithili, Hindi and Urdu. The culture of Bihar can be best expressed as comprising the following. It is believed that Bihar is one of the oldest inhabited place in the country and the 3rd largest state in India. Bihar is valued highly with rich culture and heritage and is home to many native art forms. The culture of the Biharis is greatly influenced by the pilgrimage centers of this area, which includes almost all religions. The origin of Buddhism religion took place in Bihar, and it is also the place where one of India's major dynasties, namely the Maurya dynasty, originated. Thus, Bihar is noted for its rich cultural heritage, for its houses many universities, and historically and culturally valued places. The Biharis is excellent in their arts and crafts and are known for their Madhubani painting, which is exclusive to the state. The features of these paintings are that they are done with colored paste made with rice powder. This painting is supposed to be very indigenous because it was at the time of Ramayana that Janak king asked his men to draw Madhubani painting on the walls depicting the marriage of Ram and Sita. But now the Biharis do these paintings even on clothes and canvases using twigs, brushes fingers, matchsticks, and nib pens. Lot of geometrical patterns are added in these paintings. Even now, special occasions like festivals, religious events, birth upanayam, and marriage are not complete without these paintings.
Jai Hind. This is Senior Under Officer Vishal Kumar of College of Commerce, Art and Science from 29 Bihar Battalion, NCC Patna, Patna Group, Bihar and Jharkhand Directorate. I am present here to brief you all about the topic Heritage of Bihar. Bihar is a state of rich culture and heritage with link to an epic like Ramayana and Mahabharata. This state is blended with Indian culture. The heritage places of Bihar are Mahabodhi Temple, Buddha Statue, Viswasanti Stupa, Nalanda University, Golghar, Maner Sharif, Babar Caves, Kesaria Stupa, Gandhi Setu, Nagar Fort, Kumrar and Gandhi Maidan. Now let's have a brief knowledge about these topics. The Mahabodhi Temple is one of the oldest brick temple in India. The original structure, later replaced, was built by Maurya Emperor Asoka, one of the Buddhism's most important proleptiles to commemorate the Buddha's enlightenment. The temple is 55 meters in height. Its pyramidal tower comprises several layers of niches, arch, motifs, fine engravings. 4 towers, each identical to its central counterpart but smaller in size and topped with an umbrella-like dome, adorn the corner of the 2-story structure. The shrine inside the temple hold a yellow sandstone statue of Buddha encased in glass, a descendant of the Bodhi tree under which the Buddha is said to have sat until he attained enlightenment stand adjacent to the temple. Asoka's stone slab purporting to mark the exact position where the Buddha sat in traditionally called the Buddha Visarjana. Stone railings surround to the temple as well as the Bodhi tree. One of the most famous of Asoka's many pillars stand at the southeast corner of the temple. Buddha statue. Buddha statue is set at Bodh Gaya, whose height is 64 feet. Buddha statue is the sign of Buddhism situated at Bodh Gaya. Viswasanti Stupa. The legend has it that the ancient city Rajgira existed even before Lord Buddha attained enlightenment. The capital of the great Magad Empire, Rajgira, was fortified by a stone wall which exists partially. The natural fortification by 5 hills and some of the caves were believed to be Buddha's favorite abode for meditation. This is a ropeway which helps the tourist reach the Viswasanti Stupa atop Ratnagiri Hill at the altitude of 400 meters above the sea level. The 2,200-foot-long ropeway, which is maintained by the Bihar State Tourism Development Corporation, was presented to the state by Fuji Guruji as the symbol of Indo-Japanese friendship. Built completely with marble, this stupa comprises 4 golden statues of Lord Buddha, with each representing his life period of birth, enlightenment, preaching, and death. The other way to reach the stupa is a serpentine staircase. The temple is also situated near the stupa is called Nepozin Mayozi. Nalanda University. Learned men from different cities who desire to quickly acquire renown and decisions come here in multitudes to settle their doubt, and then the streams spread far and wide. Chinese Buddhist monk Hyun Seng Tang said on his visit to Nalanda University in the 7th century CE, this center of learning then attracted a student from as far away from Korea, Japan, China, Indonesia, Persia and Turkey, and not everyone who sought it was granted admission. Travel about 85 southeast from Patna in Bihar and you will come across a broken and ruined brick structure spread over 12 hectares. But rewind 1,000 years, and exactly here stood the world's most preeminent educational institute, a campus of multiple colleges, libraries, residential quarter, and places of worship. Nalanda was situated just off a major trade route that passed through the neighboring city of Rajgir, the first capital of Magad Empire. Rajgir was just 35 kilometers south of Nalanda. Buddha and Mahabira both spent quite some time in Rajgir delivering lecture, so it is quite possible that they both spent time in Nalanda area. Hyun Sing Tang notes in his Travelers that the ground on which Nalanda stood was originally a mango orchard. In the 6th century BC, 500 merchants jointly bought this land for the 10 koti of gold coin and gifted it to Buddha, who preached the laws of Buddhism here. For the next 3 months, the original endowment was followed by continuous flow of endowment through countries by successive sovereigns. Taranatha, a Tibetan Buddhist scholar of the 17th century, says that in the 3rd century BC, Emperor Asoka built a stupa here to toll the remains of Sariputta, one of the Buddha's chief disciples, who was also born in Nalanda. This ensured Nalanda significance as the place of pilgrimage. However, it is more difficult to determine when Nalanda became a cloister and a college with several halls of learning, and there is a debate over whether it can truly be called a university or might more accurately to described as a monastic complex. Whatever the answer, it was one of the world's first attempt at the organized transmissions of knowledge, an attempt that sustained itself over an uninterrupted 700 years, leaving behind ruins that visitors continue to marvel at today. Golghar, located at the west of Gandhi Maidan in Patna. Golghar is an spherical shaped monument that was built by the British Army. This massive granary was used as a stairhouse during the times of famines. It was built by Captain John Justin, an engineer worker with the British East India Company. The construction of Golghar was completed by July 20, 1786. The base of this masterpiece measures approximately 125 meters in width and has a dual spiral stairways that leads to the top of the building, offering a picturesque view of the city. Maner Sharif. Maner, also spelled Maner or Maner Sharif, is a satellite town in Patna metropolitan region in the Patna district in the Indian state of Bihar. Maner Sharif lies 24 km west of Patna, the capital of Bihar, on National Highway 30. It comes 8 km before Behta while traveling from Patna to Ara Buxar via NS 30. The town has tombs of Sufi Sant Makhdum Yahaha Maneri and Makhdum Saha Daulat, known as Bari Dargah and Choti Dargah. Maner is an important tourist area and tourism center. The city's name is said to come from its statue as a center of tourism. Haldi Chhapra in Maner is the Sangam where Son River meets Ganga. From here, it flows as Ganga towards Patna. Famous Bhojpuri actor Kunal Singh hails from Maner. Bollywood actor Ramayan Tiwari was born and brought up in Maner. Babar Caves. Babar Cave is located about 24 km north of Gaya in the state. The caves are the only remains of the lost Azivika sector. Babar Caves are a set of 7 rock-cut caves dating back to the 3rd century BC. These are located on the twin hills of Barbar and Narganjuni These are also known as Lomas Rishi Cave, Sudama Cave, and Vishwamitra Cave among the locals. Each of the Babar cave, 4 in Babar and 3 in Nagarjuni, are carved out of granite and features 2 chambers each along with a highly polished service, completely missing any kind of sculpture and embellishments. Barber Cave are also known for their architecture, and these are the very caves which saw the use of Chatia arch in stone for the first time. The inscription found in here date it to the Mauryan period. The inscription in the Sudama cave inform that the 4 caves on Babar Hill were assigned by King Asoka to a Jivika monk in 2061 BC. Another inscription of the Nagarjuni hill is of the grandson of King Asoka, Dasratha Maurya, which tells that the Azavikis continued to enjoy imperial Mauryan patronage for long. Azvikis were one of the Nastik Darsana or heterodox philosophies, as they did not believe in Vedas, Buddhism and Jainism, were also one of them, throwing a new wave of thinkers who come to represent the Sarmana tradition of wandering mendicants. All the Ajivika test has been lost, and so the information about the faith come from the Buddhist and Jain sources, which do not paint the faith a positive picture. Ajivika believed that there was no free will and everything that has happened is happening and will happen in entirely pre-drawn and nothing could change it. During the 1st century BC, the Ajivikas were considered as a serious threat to Buddhism. They thrived under the patronage of Nanda and Mauryan kings but saw a sharp fall after that. The reason for the downfall of the sector was unknown after they were gone. The caves were occupied by Buddhists, Jain and Hindus. Today, Barber Caves are a popular tourist spot for visitors to Gaya and stand as the proof of the once prevailing religious sector, Ajivikas. Kesaria Stupa. Historical importance of Bihar has been established again with the discovery of biggest ever Buddhist stupa at Kesaria in East Champaran district, about 120 km from Patna and 30 miles from Vaisali on Indo-Nepal border. A team of Archaeological Survey of India officials discovered this stupa in year 1998 after excavation. The ASI officials have declared that Bihar has the proud privilege of housing the tallest ever excavated stupa in the world. This conservation of Kesaria Stupa is a turning point in the history of conservation in India. Earlier, the ASI team did not realize that the excavated stupa would be the tallest and largest stupa in the world. Rising to a height of 104 feet and much reduced than its original height, it is 1 foot taller than the famous Borobudur Stupa in Java, a World Heritage Monument. The Kesaria Stupa was 123 feet tall before 1934 earthquake in Bihar. In the Halcyon days when Buddhism thrived in India, the Kesaria Stupa was 150 feet and the Borobudur Stupa 138 feet tall according to ASI report. At present, the height of Kesaria is reduced to 104 feet and Borobudur to 103 feet. The height of Sanchi Stupa, a World Heritage Monument, is 77.50 feet, almost half of Kesaria Stupa. Lord Buddha, on his last journey, spent on memorable height at Kesaria. Here, he made source sensational announcement, which was later on recorded in Buddhist Jataka story. Buddha here at Kesaria said that in his previous birth here as Chakravarti Raja, Buddha also asked Lichvis to return to Vaisali after from the beginning bold. Recent excavation of Kesaria Stupa by ASI Patna circle through light on Buddhist history. The excavation reveals the terrace with Pradakshina path around the stupa. Move. Important finding is a humber finger of Lord Buddha in the Bhumi Spars Mudra and other sitting images. These figures are made of soil and pebbles in each layer. The earthen lamp, decorated bricks and other potteries are other point of attraction. Mahatma Gandhi Setu. Bhupen Hazarika Setu, also known as Dhola Sindhya Bridge over the Brahmaputra River in Assam state, is the first longest river bridge in India. Mahatma Gandhi Setu is the next, being the second longest bridge in India. In 1982, the Prime Minister of India, Mrs. Indira Gandhi, inaugurated this bridge, situated in Bihar. It extends for 5.7 km over the holiest river in India, the Ganges. In the absence of this bridge, people used to travel to Patna and Hajipur via boat. Mahatma Gandhi Setu has been named after the father of nation, Mr. Mohandas Karamchandra Gandhi. It connects Patna, located in the south of Bihar, to Hajipur, situated in the north of Bihar. The bridge has been consist of 4 lanes for vehicles, pedestrian pathways on either side. Commuters can have a spectacular view of Ganga rivers from over the bridge. Before Mahatma Gandhi Setu, Rajendra Setu opened in 1959 and was the only mean of road communication among North and South Bihar. This Setu had a 2-lane road for vehicle commuting and a single-lane railway track. Being a landmark of Bihar and part of NH19, Mahatma Gandhi Setu has enabled users to reach from north of Bihar to Patna with few minutes. Toll gates that were initially installed have now been revoked by the government. Removal of toll collection on the bridge is a measure to reduce the static load of heavy vehicle on the bridges while they wait for their turn to pay toll tax. The Bihar State Road Development Corporation undertook the construction of this bridge, initiated and approved by the central government in 1969. Construction of the bridge got assigned to the largest civil engineering construction company of India, Gammon India Limited. Construction work began in 1972 and was completed in nearly 10 years time span. The opening of the bridge was scheduled in 1978 for the public, but it was delayed due to natural disaster and labor issue. A heavy storm in April 1979 destroyed 2,300 tons each gantry and casting bed of the bridges. A huge shortage of cement and building material along with worker strike delayed the project by a few years. Expenditure incurred in the construction and maintenance of the bridge was approximately 87 million. The allocated cost for the construction of the bridge was around 46.67 million. NHAI, the National Highway Authority of India, currently maintains the Setu. The bridge is an engineering marvel having 45 intermediate spans of 120 meter each. This provides ample height of the bridge to accommodate a ship underneath it. Also, one span of 65.53 meter each is present on the both end, using cantilever slab with hang bearing and box grinder as construction technology. The bridge cost nearly 88 million back in 1970 and 1980. 2 cantilever beams present on the both sides are free to move at ends. They are upstream and downstream. Lanes of around 6 meter width on the bridge. Lanes are free of any disturbance from each other. Vertical movement of a span connected via protrusion are free to move longitudinally. These also vibration and overflowing traffic movement to smooth transfer between spans. Indian Postal Department had issued a postage stamp on 17 August 2007, landmark bridge of India Mahatma Gandhi Setu of domination 500 paise, to immortalize the grandeur of this structure. No entry fee has been levied to view the bridge. Only toll fee and GST as decided by the government needs to be paid. This amount depends upon the kind of vehicle being used on the bridge. Also, there are no fixed visiting hour for exploring the Setu. Nagar Fort. Nagar Fort built by Maharaja Sri Rameswaram Singh. The Nagar Fort is popularly known as Naulakha Place. The fort had to suffer tremendous destruction owing to serve in earthquake in the year 1934. Since then, this once magnificent structure, which used to be residence of the royal family, now just stand there like a khanдар. The place is of huge interest to the historians and archaeologists. Kumrar, an ancient city of Patliputra, it has undergone multiple excavation operations to underneath ruins like the Assembly Hall, Anand Bihar, Arogya Bihar, and Dauriki Devi Temple. This place is just 5 km from Patna railway station and has ruins dating as back of 600 BCE. It has various ruin marketing, the capital of Ajatasattu, Chandragupta and Ashoka between 600 BCE to 600 CE periods. Gandhi Maidan. The Maidan formerly known as Patna Lawns or Bakipur Maidan, and it was called before independence, lies in the heart of the capital of Bihar near the banks of Ganga, surrounded by commercial establishment and educational institute. Acting either as a political launch pad or giving the necessary impetus to the political case, the ground has witnessed and facilitated the rise of many leaders and political movements in India. It was this celebrated spot that the Grand Alliance chose to start its election campaign with the Swabhiman rally ahead of this year's Bihar Assembly election. This was also the place where 3 bombs went off while then the Prime Ministerial candidate Narendra Modi was addressing a gathering on 27 October 2013. And much earlier, Jayaprakash Narayan in 1974 launched his fight against emergency from its soil. Towering over Gandhi Maidan towards the northwest stand the statue of Mahatma Gandhi, around which evening walkers continue their daily routine along the stone pavement while a game of cricket goes in the middle of the lawn. The pavement and the boundary are a new addition to this 2.5 km radius ground, which is used for book fairs and exhibition in addition to being a battlefield for political parties. Next to the Gandhi statue site 35-year-old Mukund Sahu, who sell popcorn and peanut to the tourists and evening joggers. 10 years ago, recounting the reason for its change in name, Razi Ahmed, secretary of Gandhi Sangrahalaya opposite Gandhi Maidan, said during the British era this ground was used as a race course. It was known as Patna Lawns then. Initially, Indians were not allowed entry into the ground. The decision to name the lawn after Gandhi was taken after he died in 1948. There are few cities with this kind of open space in the center. In 1938, Jinnah chose the Maidan to review the Muslim League by delivering a speech against Congress. Bose organized a meeting of the newly constituted Forward Bloc here in 1939. Gandhi, who used to stay across the road from the Maidan, also held a number of evening prayer meetings here during the freedom struggle, Ahmed said. At a meeting here on 5 June 1974, Jayaprakash Narayan first gave the call for the Sampoorna Kranti against the emergency imposed by Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. Bharatiya Janata Party leader Lal Krishna Advani also addressed a rally here during his Rath Yatra to Ayodhya in 1990. Former Quit India movement to Champaran, from national regional leader, all have used this platform to reach out the masses. Rajendra Prasad, Jawaharlal Nehru, Indira Gandhi, J.P. Karipalani, EMS, Nabardopani, Ram Manohar Lohia, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, John Fernandez, Sonia Gandhi, Nitish Kumar, Lalu Prasad, and many more have often come to this ground. Gandhi Maidan continues to be the importance for the people of Bihar. From Patna and all of Bihar, Gandhi Maidan has been a place for important gathering. If you look at any historical event in Bihar, it has a link to this ground. Its name itself gives its importance. Even today, me, my son, and grandchildren still refer to him as Bapu. Gandhi Maidan is a historic Maidan, he said.
Jai Hind, I am Corporal Ujjwal Kumar of BD College, 29 Bihar Battalion NCC, Patna. Patna Group, Bihar and Jharkhand Directorate. I am present here to give you brief description on the topic of custom of Bihar. The word Bihar itself synonyms meaning cultural and custom.
Chatti ceremony on the 6 days at the baby is born. On the 6 days, light a devo in the evening at around dusk time. Full sea with kumchi, soparo, pigani, kumkum, flower, glasses for bati, supari, badam, sakar, rice grain. Plain sheet of white paper and new red pen. Keep the pen open, do not put on the cap. Preferably red dress, panty, baba suit. If baby girl, preferably small red 3 to 5 bangles to kept on the sopara. In the evening, take a head bath, clean the place, put chalk of pasnal if you are aboard. In big plate, kumchi, put the red cloths for the child. You may put any jewelry if you like chain painted, gold, silver, coin, etc. On the top of sopara, put bangles if girl. It is a sign of good luck for the girl child. On the seat, write with a red pen, note the new one. छठी मैया मेरा डिकड़ा डिकड़ी बच्चा ना सारा लेखा. May you write what you wish for the child. Long, happy, successful life with good health, etc. Take overna with rice. Place the white plain sheet next to it and light the devo, agarbatti. Leave the paper and open pen on the sheet overnight. Say a small prayer wishing the parents and child well. Let everything be there once the devo extinguishes. You may pick up everything and put away the cloth. Many customs in a Bihar. Marriage customs. Bihar wedding celebration used to last for a month, but modern couples have choose to cut it down 4 to 5 days from per to post wedding. Let's take a look at these ceremonies in detail. Biharis love their wedding rustic and traditional. There are plethora and ritual that have to be observed by the soon to be married couple. The families of both the bride and the grooms take part in several colorful ceremonies that testify the true spirit of a traditional Indian wedding. A typical Bihari wedding includes three categories: pre-wedding rituals, wedding day rituals, and post-wedding rituals custom. Look here to read in detail about these rituals that are very interesting and cute usual. Satyanarayan Katha. Any Bihari wedding kick start with Satyanarayan Katha. This katha is organized by the parents of bride. The prayer service or puja is elaborate and all the friend and relative of groom's side take part in it. The katha is narrated by the bride and a heaven it is light. It remained light for the whole duration of the marriage. Cheka. This ceremony is the official engagement and take place at the bride house. The groom's parents along with him visit bride's house for exchanging ring. They carry lots of gift and saguns like jewelry, cloth, dry fruits and sweet with them on visit. Once both the families have settled down, the groom and the bride exchange their ring. The next day, the bride families along with her make a visit to.
Jai Hind. I'm Sergeant Aman Raj of BD College from 29 Bihar Battalion NCC Patna. Patna Group Bihar and Jharkhand Directorate. Today I am going to brief you about the festivals celebrated in Bihar. Bihar is a hub of festivals. Many different festivals are celebrated in Bihar.
Sama Chakeva. During the winter, when the birds migrate from the Himalayas towards the plains, the celebration of Sama Chakeva takes place. This festival is celebrated specifically in Mithila, when the colorful birds migrate towards their land. This festival takes place marking the brother-sister relationship. It starts with welcoming the pair of birds Sama Chakeva. The girls make an ideal of the birds and decorate them in their own traditional way. After this, the festivities take place with full splendor and ends by a Vidai of the Sama, with a wish that these birds return to the land the next year. Pitru Paksha Mela. This Mela is held in Gaya each year in the month of September. In this fair, people from all parts of the country come to worship their ancestors as part of the Shraddha ritual. The Gayales, descendants of the Magga Brahmins, perform the Shraddha ceremony. This is a mandatory Hindu ritual which is believed to bring salvation to the departed soul. This tradition traces back to Buddha, who is believed to have performed the first Pinda here. Sonpur Cattle Fair. This fair of Bihar has its root in ancient mythology and folklore. The Sonpur Cattle Fair is the Asia's largest cattle fair which takes place in the town of Sonpur in Bihar. It is held on Kartik Purnima, that is the first full moon after the festival of Diwali. In this fair, domestic cattle like an elephant, camel, sheep and birds are brought in from around the country and sold here. Apart from this, varied handicaps and handloom stalls are also put up, along with the magic show and folk dances. This fair attracts a large number of foreign tourists each year. Rajgir Mahotsav. Rajgir is the ancient capital of the Magadhan Empire in Bihar and is held sacred by both Jains and Buddhists because of its long association with Buddha and Mahavira. A Rajgir Mahotsav is held every year by the Department of Tourism, Bihar. It is a colorful festival of dance and music. A complete serene atmosphere is created here
with the instrumental music, devotional songs, opera, folk dance, ballet, and other dance and art forms. This festival, held in the last week of October, attracts a large number of tourists from around the world. Makar Sankranti Mela. The Makar Sankranti Mela is held every year at Rajgir. It is a town in Bihar. In the month of January, the devotees make flower offering to the deities in the temple and take a dip in the holy water. Another site associated with the festival in the Mandar Hills in the Banka district. According to legends, a great Asura once threatened the gods. The Lord Vishnu cut off the Asura's head and piled up the body under the weight of the Mandar hill. The famous Panchjanya, the Shankh used in the Mahabharata war, is believed to have been found here on the hills. This makes it is a rather famous festival of the state. Chhath Puja. Chhath Puja is mainly celebrated in Bihar, which I am going to explaining mainly about it. Chhath is an ancient Hindu Vedic festival historically native to the Indian subcontinent. More specifically, the Indian states of Bihar, Jharkhand, Uttar Pradesh and the Madhya region of Nepal. The Chhath Puja is dedicated to the sun and Sasti Devi, Chhathi Maiya, in order to thank them for bestowing the bounties of life on the earth and to request the granting of certain wishes. The festival of observed by Nepalis and Indian people along with their diaspora. The festival does not involve idolatry and is dedicated to worship the Chhathi Maiya, Sasti Mata, and sun god Surya along with his consorts Usha and Pratyusha, the Vedic goddess of dawn and dusk respectively. It is believed that the main sources of sun's power are his wife Usha and Pratyusha. In Chhath, there is a combined worship of both the powers along with the sun. In the morning, worship of the first ray of the sun and the last ray of the sun in the evening are offered to both of them, and the rituals are rigorous and are observed over a period of 4 days. They include holy bathing, fasting, and abstaining from drinking water. This is called Vrat. Standing in water for long periods of time and offering prasad, prayer offerings, and aragya to the setting and rising sun. Some devotees also perform a protestation march as they head for the river banks. Environmentalists claim that Chhath is the most eco-friendly Hindu festival. Although the festival is observed most elaborately in Madhya southern region of Nepal and Indian states of Bihar, Jharkhand and Uttar Pradesh. It is also more prevalent in areas where migrants from those areas have a presence. It is celebrated in all northern regions and major northern urban centers in India. The festival is celebrated in the regions including but not exclusive to the northeast region of India. Madhya Pradesh, Bihar, Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, West Bengal, Rajasthan, Mumbai, Mauritius, Fiji, South Africa, Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana, Suriname, Jamaica, other parts of the Caribbean, United States, United Kingdom, Republic of Ireland, Australia, New Zealand, Malaysia, Macau, Japan and Indonesia. Now I am going to talk about types of Chhath Puja. First, Chaiti Chhath, celebrated in the Chaita month of Vikram Samvat. Second, Kartik Chhath, celebrated in the Kartika month of Vikram Samvat. This one is the most famous and celebrated at very large scale. Now I am going to say about history of Chhath Puja. Chhath is a Vedic ritual dedicated to Hindu solar deity Surya and goddess Sasti, also called Chhati Maiya. It has also been mentioned in both the major Indian epics. In Ramayana, when Rama and Sita returned Ayodhya, then people celebrated Deepavali, and on its sixth day, Ramrajya was established. On this day, Ram and Sita kept fast and Surya Sasti Chhath Puja was performed by Sita. Hence, she was blessed with Lava and Kush as their sons. While in the Mahabharata, Chhath Puja was performed by Draupadi, Kunti after they escaped from Lakshagriha. Now, I am going to say about ritual and traditional of Chhath Puja. The main worshippers called Parvaitin, from Sanskrit Parv meaning occasion or festival, are usually women. However, many men also observe this festival, as Chhath is not a gender specific festival. The Parvaitin pray for the well-being of their family and for the prosperity of their offering. In some communities, once a family member starts performing Chhath Puja, it is their compulsory duty to performing it every year, and it pass it on to the following generations. The festival is skipped only if there happens to be a death in the family that year. If the person stops performing the ritual on any particular year, it stops permanently. One cannot resume it. In other community, it is not mandatory. Chhath Puja is a 4 days event. Entire house, its surrounding and pathways to the ghat is thoroughly cleaned. It starts with Kaddu Bhat or Nahai Khai. The Parvartin cooks the most sattvic Kaddu Bhat, bottle gourd and Bengal grams, lentil preparation with Arvat rice bhat. This preparation is served to the deity in the afternoon as bhog. This initiates the Parv and is the last meal of the Parvatin during Chhat Puja. Kharna. This is observed the next day of Kaddu Bhat or on the evening of Pahli Arg. The Parvartin Kharna. This is observed the next day of Kaddu Bhat or on the evening of Pahli Arag. The preparation starts in the afternoon. Parvatin cooks a rice and jaggery kheer with dosti puri, other regional fruits and dry fruits as also offered to the deity as Naveda Bhog. After Pahli Arag and Dusri Arag, the prasad offerings include sweets, kheer, thekua and fruits, mainly sugarcane, sweet lime and bananas, offered in a small bamboo soup winnows. The food is strictly vegetarian and is cooked without salt, onions or garlic. Emphasis is put on maintaining the purity of the food. Sandhya Aragya, evening offering. This day is spent preparing the prasad at home. On the evening of this day, the entire household accompanies the Vratin to the river bank, pond or a common large water body to make the offering Aragya to the setting sun. It is during this phase of Chhat Puja that the devotees offer prayers to the just setting sun. The occasion is almost a carnival. Besides the Vratin, there are friends and families and numerous participants and onlookers, all willing to help and receive the blessings of the worshipper. The folk songs sung on the evening of Chhat. Jai Hind.
We have shown you the presentation on cultural, heritage, custom and festival of Bihar. We have described you cultural, heritage, custom and festival with different kinds of photos and videos. I hope you all have understood about the cultural, heritage, custom and festival of Bihar. We have come to an end of our presentation. We will end our presentation by listening to a Maithili Geet of Bihar.
स्वर्ग सा सुंदर मिथिला धाम, मंडन आया छी राजा जनक के गाँव। जहठ मुगना बनल महादेव, विद्यापति के ज्ञान यो। स्वर्ग सा सुंदर मिथिला धाम, मंडन आया छी राजा जनक के गाँव। हमरा मीता मोन लगैया अपने ही प्रेमक नगरी में, हमरा मीता मोन हो, हमरा मीता मोन लगैया अपने ही प्रेमक नगरी में। मिथिला के बोल अनमोल लगैया, मीठ जहन बर सबरी के। झुकी झुकी करै छी हम माई के प्रणाम, मंडन आया छी राजा जनक के गाँव।